The Boston Celtics have been the most consistent team in the NBA not named the Golden State Warriors the last few years. They've advanced at least as far as the Eastern Conference Finals 5 out of the last 7 seasons. During that time, they added and subtracted high-profile players in an attempt to find the best complements to pair with their superstar wings Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Players like Kyrie Irving, Isaiah Thomas, and Kemba Walker were brought in with the hope of helping the Celtics raise that next banner. While that never happened, this latest group of Celtics is starting to show signs that it might be the best team in the league and have what it takes to put those oh-so-close frustrations in the rearview mirror and bring the title back to Boston. In this video, we'll take a closer look at how the Celtics may have finally put all the pieces in place for a special run that has them in position to bring home championship trophy number 18. The Celtics have the league's best record at 32-9 and are a perfect 20-0 at home as of today's recording. But to understand why this year's Celtics team has been so good, you have to start with a trade that occurred about 2 years ago in February. Boston acquired point guard Derek White from San Antonio in exchange for guards Josh Richardson and Romeo Langford, as well as a protected first-round draft pick that the Spurs used to select shooting guard Blake Wesley. While Wesley averages 2.8 points in only 9.1 minutes per game for the Spurs, Richardson is on his third team since the trade, and Langford was released by the Spurs and now plays for the Salt Lake City Stars in the G League. Derek White, on the other hand, became every bit the versatile defensive stopper the Celtics envisioned and then some. The Celtics went 20-6 to finish out the 2021-2022 regular season and came within 2 games of a championship once White joined them. The next major move Boston made came in the summer of 2023 on the eve of free agency. The Celtics were part of a 3-team blockbuster trade that saw them ship heart and soul point guard Marcus Smart to Memphis while receiving back 7'3" star center Kristaps Porzingis from the Wizards. While Marcus Smart was a core member and the Celtics' emotional leader, Kristaps Porzingis bulked up an offensively challenged frontcourt. In fact, in his last season with the Wizards, Porzingis averaged nearly as many points per game as Celtics big men Grant Williams, Al Horford, and Robert Williams combined. He also provides a much-needed supersized rim protector. The final piece of the puzzle for the Celtics arrived indirectly via their Eastern Conference rivals, the Milwaukee Bucks. When the Bucks pulled off their own blockbuster trade to acquire Damian Lillard, they sent back their star point guard Drew Holiday. With Portland committed to rebuilding around their talented young backcourt players Scoot Henderson and Fernie Simons and Shaedon Sharpe, they did not see the 33-year-old Holiday as a good fit. So 4 days after the big trade, the Trailblazers flipped him to the Celtics for Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams, and a pair of first-round draft picks. If the saying that defense wins championships is true, then the Celtics are on the right track. Boston's team defense is playing at another level this season. It all starts with their newly assembled backcourt. As JJ Redick put it recently on his podcast, Drew Holiday and Derek White are arguably the 2 best point-of-attack defenders on the perimeter in the NBA. They fly around the court, disrupting opponents in transition with their length, speed, and uncommon shot-blocking ability amongst guards. The duo, dubbed the Stock Exchange by none other than Derek White's father Richard due to the pair's propensity to generate steals and blocks, have become bellwethers for the team's success. In fact, Holiday and White are such elite and versatile defenders that Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla uses them to guard every position, including taking on centers like Joel Embiid and Chet Holmgren on the perimeter and in the high post. Deploying this unusual tactic frees up Kristaps Porzingis to roam the paint or become the weak side help where he can block or alter drives to the basket. Add in Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Al Horford, who are all plus defensive players, and the Celtics have high IQ defenders at all 5 positions. They have the defensive versatility to play big or small. They can mix in zones that feature Holiday in the middle, where a traditional center usually plays, and they have the talent and smarts to consistently adjust mid-possession with 5 players on the court who can handle switching the way very few lineups can. Add it all up, and the Celtics play championship-level defense with multiple wrinkles thrown in that simply drive opposing coaches crazy, and they have the numbers to prove it. Currently ranked as the league's 2nd best defense, Boston holds opponents to the 3rd lowest field goal percentage in the league at 45%. They allow the 2nd fewest shots at the rim while yielding the 5th fewest total points in the paint. They also lead the league in total rebounds per game and are tied for 1st with Oklahoma City Thunder in blocks per game at 6.4. And now, let's take a look at the well-oiled machine known as the Celtics offense. No other team in the league can match what the Celtics have when Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Drew Holiday, and Kristaps Porzingis are on the floor together. And everyone knows it. NBA fans know it. The Celtics are the only team in the league with all 5 starters ranking in the top 10 at their positions in the All-Star voting. coaches know it too. After a recent blowout loss to the Celtics, Spurs Hall of Fame head coach Greg Popovich said they are a championship-caliber team. That's what they're out there for. What the fans and Coach Pop both know about the Celtics offense is simple. Opposing teams have to pick their poison. Boston has 5 starters that live on the perpetual verge of catching fire. Any one of them can hunt a heat check on a given night. They're an incredible collection of skill, size, speed, and strength. Exactly no one is surprised that they lead the NBA in point differential, beating their opponents by an average of 10 points. A big improvement this season has been how well-disciplined the Celtics are in maintaining their spacing in the half-court set. Joe Mazzulla has made spacing a huge point of emphasis, and the results to date speak for themselves. The Celtics have 5 capable three-point shooters in their starting lineup, and bring 3 more off the bench in Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, and Sam Hauser. With these deep threats at their disposal, the Celtics have taken to formulating their spacing around the low post after basically ignoring it last season. This season, they rank second in post-up possessions used per game, trailing only Nikola Jokic's Nuggets in the category. Porzingis' arrival has factored into the new appreciation for post-ups, but Boston also will throw the ball to their wings down low. Jayson Tatum has nearly as many post-ups per game at 2.6 as the Celtics did as a team last season at 3.1. The arrival of Kristaps Porzingis has only enhanced what was already a solid 2-man game for the Celtics. But last year, when Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown ran a 2-man isolation set or pick and roll, it was redundant given their very similar size and skill sets. With Porzingis on the floor, Tatum and Brown, or really any other player, can create a more diversified threat. If Tatum or Brown initiates a drive off the pick and roll, defenders better think twice about going under the screen, as the 7'3" Porzingis is a 3-ball threat all the way out to nearly 30 feet. To make matters worse for defenses around the league, Boston's already scary transition game has only gotten scarier with the arrival of Jrue Holiday. The Celtics have 2 floor generals in Holiday and White who can initiate the fast break and set an unselfish tone that creates better ball distribution, balance, and open looks for everyone. This is so crucial, as the Celtics' downfall last season in the Eastern Conference Finals was an unhealthy reversion to hero ball, with Tatum and Brown battling each other for control while the other players stood around and watched. The final ingredient to the Boston Celtics' success this season has been their growing comfort level with Joe Mazzulla's coaching style and schemes. Mazzulla was unexpectedly thrust into the head coaching position last season after Ime Udoka was suspended by the club weeks before the season was to open for having what was described as an inappropriate relationship with a female staff member. It wasn't until last February that Mazzulla lost the interim coach label and was named as the Celtics' permanent coach and signed to a contract extension. But now, with a stable coaching situation, some key additions to the lineup, an improved bench, and continued excellence and improvement from their all-star wings, there's no doubt that the Boston Celtics are hitting their stride at the right time and have a very strong chance to make this season the year that they take home the Larry O'Brien Championship Trophy and raise banner number 18 high above in the Boston Garden rafters.